Hi viewers, in this video I'm going to explain you how the control account works and their figures are reflected in the subsidiary ledgers. But before I start with the control accounts, it's also important to understand the daybooks. And then from daybooks, the figures are transferred into the control accounts as well as into the subsidiary ledgers. So let me start with the daybooks first. It's daybooks. So you must have heard the book of prime entries. One is sales daybook. So I'll keep it simple and I'll call it date and the name of the client or the customer, and then the gross figure and the VAT amount and the net amount. So let's say I have A, B, C, D and E customers. Just to keep things simple, I'm going to enter 120 here, 20 and 100 over here. So each customer has bought goods from me for 100 pounds. The VAT is 20 pounds on it, and therefore 120 pounds is the total amount I have to collect from that customer. Right, now I'm going to total them. And the total of the first gross column is 600. This is 100 and this is 500. So this is sales day book of prime entry. We first record all our transactions in the book of prime entry, and with the help of book of prime entry, the total figures are transferred into the general ledger. General ledgers are those ledgers in which the double entry is recorded. So if I'll write the double entry of these three figures, my double entry will be receivables debit by 600, VAT is credit and the sale is credit. VAT is 100 pounds and the sales is 500 pounds. So you can see my double entry is complete. With the help of this double entry, I can now open the T accounts. I'll call it debtor ledger control account. The debtor ledger control account. Let's keep it in the middle. There it is. And then I will also have a VAT account. And I will also have a sales account. In the control account, I will be transferring this figure over here, and I'll write sales day book. This figure will go into the VAT account, sales day book. And then the last figure, 500, will go into the sales account, 500, sales day book. So in the description, I have written sales day book because the figures are coming from the sales day book. So you can see that the totals will be entered, the total figures will be entered into the debtor ledger control account, VAT, and the sales account. These are all general ledgers. Now we need to record the breakdown of the 600. And the breakdown of the 600 will be in the subsidiary ledgers. In the subsidiary ledger, we will have list of debtors or individual debtor accounts, or you can call it individual receivable accounts. So we have, as you know, we have 5 receivables. And the name of those customers are A, B, C, D, and E. And the figures I'm going to pick up are these figures from the list. So sometimes they are called list of receivables or list of debtors. Now notice that I'm not picking up the final figure, I'm picking up the individual figures. So A, 120, B is 120, C is 120, E is 120, and D is 120. And you can see that the total of individual balances, these individual balances, the total is 600 pounds, which is the same as over here, 600 pounds. So I can say that the individual balances or the subsidiary ledgers are the breakdown of control accounts. That's the keyword, the control account over here, which is part of the double entry. These individual balances or individual ledgers are not part of the double entry. Remember that. Now, next thing is, if I will make an error in adding these totals, so 120 5 times is 600, if by mistake I will record 6,000, so by mistake I have added one extra zero, that effect of the error, the effect of this error will appear in the control account because the total will go into the control account, but the individual accounts will be okay because the problem is not with the individual figures, it's the total, and that is called overcasting. I have added more than what it should be. So if I'll write 6,000, then it is overcasting. If I, by mistake, I forgot to enter an extra zero, so the answer will be 60, means 120 5 times, and instead of writing 600, I wrote 60. So there is a mistake. So that effect, the error effect of that error will be appearing in the control account, but the individual accounts will be okay. So what I have done now is 120 5 times. When I add them all together, I have undercasted. So remember, when you write a bigger figure, that is overcasted. When you write a smaller figure, that is undercasted. The easy way to understand is 2 plus 2. If I write 5, it's overcasted. 2 plus 2. If I write 3, it is undercasted. I will be going through another question on control accounts in my next video, so please watch that video as well. So let's see, in the debtors control account, what else appears on the debit side and the credit side. In the debtor ledger control account, we will have sales day book figure on the top, or it can be the brought down figure. In some questions you will see a brought down figure. We also record bank over here, so when customers pay me money, I will reduce their balance. Bank balance will appear on the credit side because it will reduce my receivables balance. I will also record cash on the credit side. I will record the discount allowed. On the credit side because it reduces my receivables balance. I will also record contra with PLCA, purchase ledger control account, and that is X. I will explain you contra in a short while when I will open a purchase ledger control account, and I will also record bad debt. They are also called irrecoverable debt on the credit side of the debtor ledger control account, because bad debts reduces my receivables balance. On the debit side, I will have brought down balance, and I will also record dishonored check. Dishonored checks are if a customer has given me payment, through check, I deposited that check in my bank account, and later my bank found out that my customer do not have enough money in their bank account. So they will send that check back to me, and I will record it on the debit side, because when I received the check, I recorded it on the credit side. That means I reduced the balance of my receivable. But now, because that has been dishonored, I will record it back on the debit side. Remember, in accounting, we do not erase anything. There is no delete option. Earlier, I said that individual balances of receivables is the breakdown of control accounts. So remember, whatever will appear on the debit side of the control account will appear on the debit side of individual accounts. Easy to remember, follow the colors. And similarly, whatever will appear on the credit side of the control account will appear on the credit side of individual accounts. As I said, individual accounts is simply a breakdown of the control account. Right. Now I'm going to erase this part, because I'm going to write down the creditor ledger control account. And as I said, creditor ledger control account is prepared after we have entered all the figures in the purchase day book. And a purchase day book is a list of all the purchases I had from my suppliers. So date, name of the supplier, gross, and the net, and the VAT and the net amount. So F, G, H, I, J. So these are my suppliers. So I'm going to keep things simple, and I'll keep the same figure for all the suppliers. The VAT is 40, and the total amount I have to pay to my suppliers will be 240 each. And the total is 1200, and this is 200, and this is 1000. So again, thinking about the double entry for these three figures will be purchases debit by £1,000, VAT on purchases will be £200, and the suppliers or purchase ledger control account will be 1200. purchase ledger control account. So in my sales, I had debtor ledger control account. In purchases, I will have purchase ledger control account. Or you can call it supplier ledger control account. It means the same. So I'm going to have one big account for the supplier's control account. We can also call it creditor control account. So suppliers, payables, and creditors, they are the same. So since I have used debtor over here, I'm going to call it creditor control. Control account. And I will be recording this £1,200 on this side, and this figure is coming from purchase day book. I do not have to open the VAT account and the purchases account because I'm focusing only on the control accounts. And similarly, I need to have a breakdown of my supplier ledgers. And I will have the names of all those suppliers. F, G, H, I, and J. And I'll be recording 240 on this side. And now you can see the 1200 is the breakdown of 5 suppliers, £240 each. So whatever is reflected in the creditor ledger control account will be reflected in the individual accounts. So let's see what else is recorded here. When we pay to our suppliers, it will reduce our liability, so we will have to record it on the debit side. Cash, discount received, contra with debtor ledger control account. There is no bad debt. And that's it. Now, as I said, I will explain you what is this contra. Contra means when I have a customer who is also my supplier. So let's put it this way. I am an accounting college. I have an accounting, someone does my accounts, and that is an accounting firm. I pay them £500 for the work that needs to be done. But they sent some of their employees into my college to train them for a qualification. So I'm going to charge them £600. So now think, I have to pay £500 for the accounting work, for the books they are preparing for my business, and I will train their staff and I'll charge them £600. So what I'll do is I'll net off the minimum balance, the lower balance. So let's put it this way. I'm going to put some figures to make it clear. I have to pay £500 to the accounting firm, and I have to collect £600 from the accounting firm because I'm training their employees. So instead of collecting £600 and then out of it take £500 and give it back to them, what I'll do is I will net off the lower balance. Means I will pass a double entry, which is debtor ledger control account credit by 500, and creditor ledger control account will be debit by 500. So now you can see that this 500 cancels this 500, which means I do not have to send them a check of 500. Look at the debtor ledger control account. This 500 will only cancel 500. That means there is a balance of 100. I will be collecting £100 from the accounting firm for the training of their staff. So this is called contra entry, which means we cancel the lower balance between the supplier and the customer. But make sure that individual supplier is also the same customer. We cannot cancel against each other, but it should be the same company. So I cannot cancel the balance of the accounting firm with the telephone bill. No. Right. I hope this is clear. And again, remember that follow the colors. Whatever will appear on the debit side of the creditor ledger control account will appear on the debit side of the individual suppliers or creditors account, the list of creditors. The other thing is whatever will appear on the credit side of the creditor ledger control account will appear on the credit side of the individual suppliers. I hope you found this video useful, and please watch my next video in which I'm going to solve a question and I'll show you how to rectify the balances. If the debtor ledger control account balance, if the debtor ledger control account balance is not matching with the total of individual debtors, then how do we fix those errors? Thank you very much.